Welcome. Good Sunday morning to you. We'll do another test game for the Her Football League, Historic Extreme Regulation Football League. What we're going to be doing is I've done playing brackets for all of the franchises on Madden 2005 Collection Edition, 275 historic teams. Every team that won its franchise's bracket has been put into this league. I will go into footballreference.com and put all the names in the rosters and save those to memory cards and use a workbook that I put together. Let me show you that. To track the league. This is just telling me what's ready. Being named, both of them can be played. This is telling me what they score as far as the game being telecast. I'm kind of using that as a guideline to pick games. Monday night will always be done. So we have two. So any other green stripe other than the Monday night game or games can be used as a stream game for that week. Try to keep to the better competitive team league. At the end of the season, each season, depending on how long we go here, the games for those brackets for those eight last place teams will be replayed. Whoever wins the bracket will represent the franchise in the next season. It is possible for that team to win again. It is also possible for a team to never represent that franchise for however long the series goes. Thought it would be interesting to see if bringing in new teams would warrant a new Super Bowl winner. But we'll see. Time will tell. But I wanted to show this workbook off a little bit. Put a little bit of work into it. So if I come up here to the top, you can see I have my own. This is just to generate the new season whenever we're done. Play week doesn't work. That's from a different thing. But now we'll see. If I go over here to weeks, I can pull up whatever week we want to look at or are currently on. It may actually you picked the week, so I don't think it does. I thought maybe it looked at the current week, brought that up right away, but I don't think it does that. Whatever we select. But you can scroll through the weeks. So this is week 1. A lot of interesting matchups going to be happening there. So if you scroll through the weeks here, the 2, so on and so forth. At the end of each week, whatever after the last Monday night game, whichever that one would be, here to stats and info, and we have the standings page. That looks like how large that is on stream, but it does have the actual your AFC West, the North. We have NFC West, North and South. So I just did it 3 across and then extra, and then it was kind of across the opposite direction in the extra. There are no games, obviously, so there's no record there. The reason you see a record on the screen and or the, which when we go over these, I'll disable that. So now you can see all of them there. The black is the division record. It is also keeping the record for tiebreaker, and those will be factored into these as they're, so you don't visually see are there. And then whenever we choose to, we can actually commit playoff picture. So obviously the default list really doesn't mean anything right now. We'll tell you what seed they are, who they're playing, and so then fill in as the game is played. So we have that ready to go. We are just in the rest of the teams, and I believe we have 7 left to do the names for. I know it looks like more than that because of the number of games that are in white up here. But, one of them's done like the. The reason you see a record in the stream name and the go live notifications are from test games. So that is also in here. What these look like. So we're actually on stream. I'll be recording this stuff here. Just trying to make sure we get the number of plays right. Anyway, up here in overtime, pretty high. The back's 20 out for overtime. I had one. I was using a different set of settings here, so it looks like the new settings have kind of helped with that. And so this should be similar, but I might have. These could have been 7-minute settings. That's a possibility. So I just have to keep an eye on the number of plays there. So, and I have it set up in this test game as a round robin, so all 10 of these teams plays. Probably won't get through all of those parts. I'm actually hoping to start it next weekend. And then I also have a college one, well, with 102 teams. I'd like to start that at the same time. Those are already named, so we're good there to start it as far as the stream go. I don't have a similar situation for games to stream, kind of eyeballing it currently, but I may change that. Not quite set up the same as the one. Might be a little bit more difficult to do, but we'll see. And it does have a ranking system, college, so be able to tell who's where. So that give me an idea of which ones to stream. I do not have that one set up to where the last game gets picking 2 games that both that, and it's a 17-week because fighting with it was 101 teams to get a schedule, and there's nothing goes into one except myself and one. So I created a team to put them in there. 102. I had already expanded it to 17, and at 17 goes into even. So we just kept it that. So they do have 5 off weeks. Team. A little bit more than I wanted, but it's still. And then that it actually assigns teams to pools, which randomize the schedule for that one. And I don't have it playing anything for conference games or anything. It's just a 12-game season, 6 away, 6 home, round robin pretty much schedule. Don't play in it. You just have. But anyway, I do believe I want to try to do that on Saturdays, kind of keep it in perspective of the real world, so to speak. Do the Madden, this one, on Sundays. That's the goal anyway. I do have some tournaments coming up, state in April and Biloxi tournament down there. Bowling for anybody who's curious. So we might skip a couple weekends for that, or if we can by then. And so we'll work around that. Try to remind you guys when I do that to remind you that we'll be skipping a week or whatever happens there. I might do some extra games the last week of March because I am on vacation. My wife and I are that last week, birthday week versus the 7th. So we're talking about going to where we don't. But during that week, I might be able to play. We'll see how that goes. I'd love to. It fascinates me. See how it comes out. I wish you could do it actually in game. I hope college football, add something like that for the next Madden, something you can where they give you the teams and you can actually put them in a season, even if it's just for a year. This would still work in that. But anyway, this is where the standings are driven from. There we go. So the playoff picture is pulling from over here. Standings are pulling from over here. Even see my cursor, so that's helpful, isn't it? So let's try that again. The left side that you see here is where the standings are pulling from, and the right side is playoff picture. This is the schedule just to make sure that all of it have at least one Monday night game. Some have two, but at least everyone has at least one. Here the team that's still back 7. Hopefully we'll have those done by next week. Start this. But so I can get to, and this is part of the old game, which goes with. Actually, you can still use it to look at whatever. But it would actually put the results here. Happening game. It was just randomized. But that's what my tracker looks like, and practice season, since you can't put them in a season in the game. So let's get on with our game and see what kind of results we get. Pretty much just looking for not a ton of turnovers, some obviously, and number of plays really is really looking at from 110 to 130 on average.
Now here's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, and the great thing about him is that he always gets the job done. Maybe it's selling a play pass or throwing a block on a reverse. He's always out there doing the
drinking coffee still this morning.
To help his team to victory. The visiting team have
actually
he likes to throw to.
Kind of late.
No question.
It was bothering me. So.
Chemistry, and he's always finding an open spot on the defense
to go to sleep.
It wouldn't be surprising to see them hook up a few times in this one. And you can tell that defense is fired up and ready to go. I don't think we should keep them waiting any longer. The lights are on. Both teams are ready, so let's go to the field for the opening kickoff. The Colts are lined up for the kickoff. And he got all of that one. A great kick. From the 2-yard line. The offense heads out onto the field for the first time. It's 1st and 10. Moore comes in motion. Dropping back to pass on 1st down. Short pass to the fullback. White takes him down at the 24-yard line.
Messages on my phone there. I still haven't decided if I'm gonna call the games or not. I may stream one of the test games during the week. I call it a game.
Closing in, and he just got level. Yeah, you know that whole deal about what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? Well, the unstoppable force won that one. Good matchup today. One of the best quarterbacks in the league taking on one of the toughest defenses. Now, defensively here, John, what do you think they're thinking? Well, I think they're going to have to shut down those short slant routes and deep outside corners first. Force your offense to throw short and over the middle. Let your big hitters make those wide receivers think twice.
Way too high with that pass. Now here's the punt unit as the defense forces a 3-and-out. Here's the punt. From the 30-yard line. Let's see how effective they can be with their first drive of the game.
We're still getting messages. Wife wasn't here when I woke up this morning. And there was no note or anything, or a message on my phone, so I didn't know where they went.
The visiting team come out in a nickel package.
I had texted her, but I hadn't seen an answer yet.
Mitchell. McFarland makes the tackle at the 32-yard line. Not much on that play.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you talk about a disciplined defense. They stay at home and wait for the runner to come to them.
Only one man back. They're off again. Big pop that time.
You want someone there to tell you to watch out because he just got decked.
So it's a 15-yard penalty, not the instant 5-yard face mask.
He's lucky his head's still on the way he got yanked down there.
Mitchell.
Anyway, I've been playing with the... Well, last night I was playing with the settings for the...
Fakes the handoff. It's free.
Uh-oh.
The visiting team. And Johnny just
Playing with the settings for the emulator, trying to get the graphics to look right, and put in a decent spot now. I tried going pretty much max on everything, and there's some kind of weird shadow crap on the field when you do that, so I don't. But
dropping back to pass on first down. With the throw, with the adjustment, he has it.
kind of like 2K5, there's a widescreen hack you can enable, which makes it look really good, and the players are tall and like they're supposed to be, but or you can run it in 4:3. But if you do the widescreen hack, it messes up the fog games. Kind of stayed away from that. I'd like to have it enabled, but I would only do it if it handled the shadows or fog fiction. Not seen it do yet. And I actually downloaded the NFL 2K5 or 2K24 mod, which they kind of incorporate their own PCSX2 nightly version, and it doesn't update. So when you tell it to check for an update, it says it can't find the asset. So if they update anything, I don't get those. But I do have another version that does get the updates, but I'd have to copy all the files over because I've been updating them in this one. I have to copy the memory cards over at the ones that are there.
He's one of those guys who's extremely accurate with his passes. His receivers rarely have to make any adjustments in their routes to come up with a ball.
So 5 minutes left in the first and no score yet. Buccaneers are threatening, however.
This is a great call on third down to keep this drive alive. They were in a tough spot.
King.
This is a heck of a throw and catch to pick up that first down.
Johnson there in the huddle.
This defense is extremely active and effective up front. They do a good job of getting upfield quickly, creating havoc in the backfield. Misdirection plays and draws can be a good way to use their speed and aggressiveness against them.
King sends a man in motion.
Yeah, that's a few things for you to keep in mind if you follow the series. Is not only are we looking for who can win the Super Bowl out of these 4 teams, but we also are looking for who's going to get relegated and or replaced, however you'd like to look at it, at the end of the season. And I didn't play any of the brackets on stream, to figure out who's going to represent the first year of these franchises. So that brings up the debate on whether or not I should do the replacement brackets. I usually play them in fast forward because there were so many games to be played. But I've played some Madden 08 playing brackets or best games in that. But I played a lot of those in fast forward. Certainly something I could do.
The visiting team is set to kick it deep. Booming kick downfield. The Colts will start this drive from the 28.
Put on a ratings file for historic teams. Well, to have my own ratings. I'm trying to decide what game I'd want to put it into.
With the pass, Robinson records the tackle at the 49.
I tell you, I like NFL 2K5, but the interceptions are heavy, dude. So many.
With his accuracy, everyone's open.
It's 1st and 10. The quarterback gets set with only one back behind him. Mitchell.
Put that way.
Throwing. This one falls incomplete. What a play by the corner to get to that pass.
He really had good position on the receiver without
Mitchell.
interfering.
Oh, snap. Right away, kid. So it could have. He could have said.
Only
He said Mitchell.
Number 83, the man in motion. Rosen, the defender's got it. The pass rush had a
Interceptions.
interception.
That's exactly what happened out there. He felt the rush coming, and he was coming so fast that he threw it up for grabs, and he paid for it. I'm sure that he wished he had.
Noticing on this game there have been overs as well, including interception. That's
On the delay.
that's the settings I've adopted, or what?
He's there to make yet another outstanding defensive play.
He made a name for himself with plays like that.
I'll be honest, the set that I found, I'm pretty sure they were going against Ricky Minute.
On and off the field.
With the throw, and he can't hang on.
Church.
The incomplete pass brings up 3rd down.
But if I want to start next weekend, I better do it quick.
With the pass, and it's intercepted.
Another pick.
Coverage let it go, but the defense was there to.
Yeah, I don't know. Around a little bit more, I think.
Interception now, it's 1st and 10.
Tweak what I got. Something.
Jones with a man in motion.
The line's not blocking well enough, so they're rushed and throw picks.
It's rid of it. This pass is incomplete. John, it looked like it was tipped at the very last moment by the safety.
That was a good read of the quarterback. That's what you need to do when you're playing center field.
So we'll let this play out, and I think I'll not record it, and then I'll do some tweaking to the settings. Play it. See what differences I get.
Can't draw it up any better than that. Textbook 1st down. 1st and 10. The quarterback gets set with only one.
Also trying to get the Bears entered into Madden 24 from moving my NFL 2K5 all-time rosters over to Madden 24. But it takes so long. It takes me.
First down marker is just inside.
Probably takes me probably 2 weeks to do a team.
Only one man back.
Only because I'm going in and looking
Pass looking for the end zone.
fine at those likenesses and trying to get the equipment as close as I can, and hopefully get the look of the face as close as I can, although they're very limited in that part.
5th play of this drive.
And I mean, it would be, to a point, it would be nice if they gave you the options to change the facial features. I like it,
Pass. Incomplete pass. 4th down.
what is it, PGA Tour 2K23? You can do the depth of the cheekbones and all that stuff. But at the same time, now you're talking about taking a week to do a player rather than a team. You know?
Mitchell. Webster records the stop
Or
at the 33
week in the face still look like a person right there.
First and 10.
I mean, I think you'd get a lot of rosters where people just did with that part. They just make the hair color close and on.
Hand it off. You know, Johnny always seems to be in perfect position to make a play.
He's all about effort. His motor's always running at 100%, and he's got the experience to diagnose plays very quickly.
It's second down and 10 to go. Done. The lone back.
I think it looked pretty good though if you took the time. I'd say that.
White stops him for negative.
But I didn't have near the I didn't have near the options in NFL 2K5 as you do in Madden 24, and it still took me over a year to get that done. To be fair, I redid it second time because I had a high ratings version and a low ratings version. That made a difference doing it twice. So I guess theoretically it took me 6 months or so, 7 months for each one. It was over a year, so it was pretty close.
Offense couldn't get it done, and they'll line up to punt.
But LSU, I know he's done 32 teams already, and it took him about 3 months.
From the 22-yard line.
Using the online likeness to do the equipment stuff as well, so kudos to him. That's phenomenal. I can't imagine getting it done that quick.
First and 10.
But who doesn't know, that's Legends Sports Universe, his channel out on YouTube. Doing a different version of Madden 24. Really a relegation league. It's a player pool, work player pool.
Under a yard to go.
Does a random draw for the first 50.
Mitchell, the lone back.
Whatever he said, 53, 50, 54. I can't remember what number he said. And then each season there'll be 5 players whenever they come in. Draft. I don't know how he's going to determine who is out and all that, but just him for all that. So that'll give him some longevity for that season, and that's kind of the reason I came up with this season. I'm still searching for some kind of way maybe to get some longevity out of the college. But I think if you redo the schedule and play again, I think that can make enough difference that it'll be worth doing it. In that college version, there will be a 32-team playoff bracket.
I try and run the ball right at him. That'll negate the speed that these guys have to the outside.
The visiting team come out in a nickel package. Pressure coming. He hits his receiver.
So basically what it's doing is you play the games out each week, and it gives them points based on how well they play. So let's rephrase that. It gives them points based on how much they win by. So it rates their offense, rates their defense for not giving up points, combines those, and then they get points based off of that. Those points will let's do that. Those points will give the rankings, and then at the end of the 17th week, the people who are listed in those rankings as the top 32 will then go to the playoffs. And I think having 32 teams in the playoffs and each team only playing 12 games a season, you would get enough difference in schedules strength. Redoing it another year, that it would be different as far as who was ranked where. Somewhat. I mean, you'd have some teams that are just good, right? But based on who they play, let's assume that the 52 Michigan Spartans are a weaker team. So if they play all teams that are better than that, their rating might not be as high as it would be if they had more weaker teams in their schedule like those. And then that could shuffle the rankings enough to have the variance that we're looking for. And being that there's 102 teams, you're only playing 12 games a season. There are going to be quite a bit a difference in your strength of schedules for each team. Although they are all historic teams, so technically they're all supposed to be pretty good. But I will tell you, I played Arkansas against 52, the 2006 Arkansas against 52 Michigan, and it was ugly. It was like, I don't even remember, it was like 42-3 or something, 38-30, something like that. But then I played them against, I want to say it was 94 Florida or 97 Florida. Anyway, one of the Gators teams, and they lost 17-13, I think it was. 2017, something like that. So I wanted to make sure Arkansas wasn't overpowered, that they'd just be blowing everybody out, because I actually had to create them. Basically what I did was created I think it was a balanced team, a heavy team, I can't remember. I created a team and then I named the players. I kind of just made sure their ratings overalls were close to what the other teams look like. Then I just ranked the players to be at right, hoping that would make it, competitive for them. Me too. We'll keep an eye on them throughout the season to see if they're not blowing everybody away. They are beatable. I've already verified that. Alright, so back to our game. Looks like the Colts have a 7-3 lead. Work done's not been able to get anything going. They don't look like they're giving up on the run, so that's good.
Fifth play of this drive, about 8 yards. The quarterback gets set with only one back behind him. At the 45. There will be one discrepancy in the schedule compared to the game. The representative for is the Oilers. They need 5. And I don't have a helmet for the Oilers, obviously, because it makes it anymore. So their helmet is still the Texan.
Third down to keep this drive alive. They were in a tough spot here, but this is a heck of a throw and catch to pick up that first down.
So the helmets that I have, one person that was helping mod the NFL 2K5 game. So if I could get a hold of him, reach out to him in some fashion, and ask him if he could get a Oilers one, so we'll get a hold of one. But obviously there's no historic team in there, and this is 2005 game, so they wouldn't be. Is that? Now they could be now. Like 2011 team was. I've been another one.
On third down, they have to get it to the 30 for a first.
But anyway.
Throws it. He finds his man. How about that speed? Great individual effort.
He throws lasers all over the field. He can throw them short.
With the catch, they're marching down to the Colts 20 currently.
And this is the 10th play of this drive. They're in field goal range. Done. The deep man gets rid of it, and he can't hang on.
Didn't think about it earlier. We should have looked at the spreadsheet to see who the Bucks beat and what the scores were, and Colts there as well.
Only one man back. Hand it off. Drop behind the line for a loss of a couple. Nowhere to go that time. The defensive line gets very good penetration.
This line's very aggressive up front. They like to stunt and use power.
So I guess I could look at that real quick while it's playing that stuff.
The best way to move the ball on the ground against them is
Oh, we got the Colts. Colts went to Buffalo and lost 30-24 regulation. And the Colts actually had to score they had 14-6 in the fourth quarter just to get to that point.
So after the interception, now it's 1st and 10.
The Bucks went to Kansas City and beat them 37-24. In fact, most of their scoring was the first 3 quarters and then kind of ran the clock out. The Colts Bills had 1 turnover apiece. Bucks Chiefs had 2 by the Bucks and 3 by the Chiefs.
Mitchell, the lone back. Mitchell.
In the next round, the Colts handled the 89 Browns 34-10. Finished that game off with 15 points in the fourth quarter, probably off of Browns going for it and not getting it. Colts turned it over none, and the Browns had 2 turnovers. And then in the following game, it was the 94 Bears with these 2,000 Bucks, and the Bucks pulled it out 22-21 at home by putting up 13 in the fourth to win by a point. I believe, if I don't remember correctly, they actually scored on the last play to win that. Remember right. And I played 10 test games before that, rotating 10 teams. And there's only 2 that weren't very competitive, and that was the Colts Browns 34-10 and the Chargers 94 Chargers and 73 Bengals 24-30.
He does a nice job of feeling the pass rush, but he has to know who his hot receiver is if he feels pressure, or if he sees the defense coming on a blitz.
So that's the way it looked for those games.
Here's the punt. And he chooses to return this one.
Actually, kind of wish I still had those settings in place, as it looks like the games were pretty competitive. Still had a couple blowouts, which you should have every now and then, especially if the other team fall over. The Chargers kind of took care of the Bengals 24-3, but the Bengals only had 1 turnover. Chargers didn't have any.
Yeah, if they keep making catches like that, this quarterback is going to get into quite a rhythm.
The Chargers only had 50 plays to the Bengals 67. Like they played from behind the whole time. They had 46 passes to 28 for the Chargers. But the number of plays looks pretty good. And then you had the other games that were competitive. You had 91 Bills 26 over the 98 Cardinals 23. Try that again. The 91 Bills over the 98 Cardinals 26-23. That's a little bit better. The 91 Broncos over the 94 Chiefs 21-16. Chiefs are 0-2 in practice games, test games. Surprising. We already talked about the 77 Colts over the 89 Browns 34-10. We also talked about the 94 Bears lose to the 2000 Buccaneers 21-22. And the 94 Chargers 24-73 Bengals 3. The first week was fairly competitive, but the number of games or the number of plays was astronomical. Like 134, 127, 150, 125 is not too bad, and then 121 is pretty good. Had the 77 Colts lose to the 91 Bills 24-30.
6th play of this drive. 2 minutes left in the quarter.
1,000 Bucks over the 94 Chiefs 37-24. We also talked about, and then we had the 94 Bears 34, 94 Chargers 28. Had the 98 Cardinals 34, the 89 Browns 29, and the 73 Bengals lose, I believe, on a last-second touchdown again, 12-13 to the 91 Broncos. Or to this game. fairly competitive. Colts lead 7-3. Tampa has another fourth down. Yeah, I don't. Running games are awful with these settings. I haven't tweaked that. It should be getting something. It's got 2 yards on 14 carries.
Gets ready as we near halftime. From the 25. He picks up a few yards on the return.
Back over here. Stream.
They'd like to add a few more points to this lead, but we'll need to do a
Not
good
dropped
job
any
with
frames so
clock
far.
management.
Knock on
It's
fake
first and 10.
wood. Hello, whatever I got, right?
Jones,
The last stream I dropped.
Thompson, the man in motion.
Still said 0%, but it's quite a few frames it looked like to me. Maybe 8 or 4 or something.
The defense can't afford to take
So hopefully that was just a one-off. Hadn't really had anything drop before that.
Can lead to a big play for the offense.
Keep an eye on that too. Make sure it's going on with my internet.
We're at the 1-minute mark. The Colts line up with 2 backs behind
I
the
like the
quarterback.
lower scoring games like they're having in
Closing
that.
in.
I mean, I like to have
Launches
a
deep to the left.
that every once in a while.
This is incomplete. Safety makes a nice play getting to the ball and
Settings
taking
my
it away.
defensive heavy, which is makes sense, I guess, if you think about it being
Something that some receivers don't do well. Hey, here's
human
where the
versus
defense needs to
either
take
trying to make
charge.
the defense harder.
Bust in there and get him for a sack.
Drops back. Pressure coming. Throwing.
As you know as well as I do, if you've played Madden at all, that
They have tried to put a little too much oomph
back in the day it was all about the defense. Wanted it to be high scoring, so you had fun.
Unable to get
And won most of the time.
series, they'll have to
So
punt it away.
people try to tweak the settings to
Here's the catch.
harder.
And he waves for the fair catch.
You don't win 42-0 every time.
They got to have good clock management if they want to get some points in this drive. And if they can get some, it'll be a big help for them going into half.
You're right, John. Right here, John, and his Maddenisms.
Passing on first down. Number 56.
Bucks could get some points here to be big
He was there to make the catch for the first down.
for their momentum going into the second half.
I'm sure the quarterback will look his way again when he needs another first down.
Only one man in the backfield. King
That
saves the man in
feels
motion.
weird.
Dropping back.
We're getting
Pressure
sick.
with the throw. Just couldn't get that pass under control. And
Scratchy.
good pressure forced him to get rid of the pass early.
Every quarterback needs a little time to look over the field. There we saw a defense who wasn't given any time at all. There's only one way that they're going to be able to do
With the
something
stream, I'll
about
probably
this.
grab some lunch.
Keep throwing and getting out of bounds.
Lay down and watch
Gets rid of it.
sports are on today.
This one falls incomplete. So that one flutters incomplete.
He put
Maybe
too much
if it's
touch
not
in
early
that one.
enough.
3rd and long. The defense trying to bring this drive to a halt.
Something.
Dime backs in for this play. Throws it. He finds his man.
Keyshawn. Oh, I thought he was gone.
They'll have to work the sidelines to get their kicker within range, but even more importantly,
Well,
get
gotta
a
be
chance to
getting
score
close
a
to
touchdown.
field goal range now. Oh yeah, they're in field goal range. They're at 30.
Only one man in the backfield. Throwing. The pass falls incomplete.
You don't throw a pig, cost yourself the
Any way
points.
you look at it, an incomplete pass is a heck of a lot better than throwing it to the other guy. Watch for a quick out and up pattern, because the corners might be
John, I
playing
kind
for
of
a
did throw it to
sideline
the other
run.
guy, just
So
didn't
the
catch it.
offense might look to take advantage of that.
The Colts come out with 3 down linemen and 7 defensive backs. Dropping back with the throw, batted down. Pretty good coverage downfield as the pass falls incomplete.
He had some room up in front of him to scramble out of the pocket and pick up a few yards. Maybe he should have done that.
7th play of this drive.
Also, I think if it gets if the running game is better and they do it more, then that could bring the
Incomplete pass.
number of plays down.
To the secondary, but still generated an excellent
One
pass
more.
rush.
And that gives you a lot of flexibility calling your defense. If the guys up front are good at
At least that's the hope.
then you don't have to blitz as often, giving you the ability to double cover an opponent's best receiver.
He's one of the best in the league, John, but it's a little surprising to see him in from this distance. The try is good.
He's
We're
one of
able to
those
get
guys who
some.
really works hard at what he does.
Not the lead
You
yet.
see that hard work paying off when you make a kick like this one.
Might try to name another team or two. One tonight.
Decent kick. We should have a return from the 5 to the 20. The defense did a great job on the last series, forcing the offense to go 3 and out.
Sometimes you want to get a score before the half, but when you're leading in a game like this, you don't want to do anything risky. So you just run the ball and start getting ready for the second half.
Mitchell, the lone back. With the throw, he hits his receiver. Perfect pass, great catch, and that'll move the chains.
Uh-oh. Careful, they're going to give that field goal back.
And this should be the last play of the half. Jones scans the defense from the gun. Gets the pass
On D.
off.
Oh.
Intercepted. At the end of 2, the score
Tipped away.
As they line up to kick it off, we'll take a look at each team's stats through 2 quarters.
It's dominating in the time of possession, but not on the scoreboard.
Both teams have lined up and we're set for the second half kickoff. And he got all of that one. A great kick. Baltimore leading by a slight margin, heading back out. It's 1st and 10. They have the lead, and one big reason is because they've done a real good job on the ground on 1st down.
And when you gain 5 yards or more, it sets you up in good second and third situations.
Good read, finding the single coverage in the secondary. 1st and 10. They've been solid running the ball on 1st down, John.
Not bad. And that success leads to bigger and better things.
Oh, we got it.
To let the runner juke
Thanks for the tackle.
the center of his body and bam.
Pays for that.
Just like you're supposed to do in a one-on-one situation.
His foot or his leg.
Well, Al, the coach finds his team is trailing right now, and he believes that is due in a large part to the defense's inability to disrupt the opposing passing attack. He talked things over with the secondary in the locker room at halftime, and they plan to mix up their coverages, hoping to slow things down. Al?
Thanks, Joe. And John, they're still trying to move the ball on the ground.
This is a tough physical team that likes to run the ball in just about any situation.
He's 2.6 after that run. He wasn't averaging 5
really
one time.
wears
So.
down the interior line, and it helps to slow down those pass rushers.
Only one man in the backfield. Gets the pass off. Drops the interception. So the pass falls incomplete in the end zone.
Nice pick there.
Fifth play of this drive.
The touchdown though. I don't know if it was offensive or a
With the
kick.
pass, Vance with the tackle at the 12-yard line. Jones is
Seen
right
it.
on the mark with that throw.
3rd down is when you really need your quarterback to be sharp, because of temptation to force something
Or
in.
Jones moving him down the
That time
field.
He found the right guy, and he made a good throw.
Take the momentum back at home.
Come out on a nickel package.
Mitchell, big hole.
That one will leave a mark.
Fine on that carry.
I'll tell you one thing, he's going to feel that in the morning.
9-yard gain. 3 yards will get them 6 points. Throwing a strike to the end zone. Scott is in there for the touchdown.
Colts looking pretty good so far. The only ones that can put it in the end zone.
Number 2 comes in for the extra point. And it's on its way, and the extra point is good. They now lead in the game by a touchdown.
Interesting. Hey, the Colts are looking pretty good here, but like I said, the Buccaneers looked pretty good in their first two games. Colts were kind of just okay.
From the 8-yard line to the 20. Tampa Bay needs a touchdown.
Pretty well in this game so far. Buccaneers are able to find the end zone at all.
The visiting team haven't done the job on first down when they've gone to the air.
When you see that, and then you look at the scoreboard, you kind of get
Done it on the ground either.
they need to do better.
Dunn was dragged down before he could get to the line of scrimmage.
They have great size and quickness up front. That allows them to hold up against the run, while also giving them the speed to rush the passer when they drop back to pass.
Moore goes in motion. Steps up, throws it. No completion.
Ooh, couldn't hang on.
The throw was right there, but he couldn't make the catch.
That's got to be a little disappointing.
One of the things I have noticed about this, if anybody tries to do anything with these rosters, again, there's a video on my YouTube channel that gives you all the codes for this.
With 2 extra defensive backs, the defense is in the dome,
Most of the starters don't let you change this color. Like Keyshawn is not dark. Got him at medium. But just be aware there are some players that's dithered out on. You can't change skin color. I don't know why they did that, but they did. Uh-oh, there's the Bucs touchdown.
The 20, the 10. The defense is going to take it in for the score.
I'll get them back into the game.
The coach is telling them to go for the 2.
Try to tie it up here.
They give it to the halfback.
Well, considering you're averaging 0.2 a carry, I don't know that that would be the play call I'd have went with, but catch him off guard, I guess.
The visiting team is set to kick it deep. Not a bad kick. They'll set up for the return. From the 12-yard line. The 30. Flag down.
That's going to push it. Colts starting to shoot themselves in the foot a little bit here.
So
Get out of that.
The quarterback gets set with only 1 back behind him. With the pass. Perfect throw. Dives and brings him down at the 47. Nice read, finding the receiver who was in single coverage.
Thompson, I believe it said.
First and 10. The quarterback gets set with only 1 back behind him. Pass play here on first down. Gets rid of it. The defender's got it.
Uh-oh.
The quarterback was ready to get hit and just threw
This is
it
not
out
good.
of bounds.
I tell you, you don't get a whole lot easier than that. He was right there. Quarterback makes a bad throw, and he brings it in for an interception.
Following the interception, it's now
Not
first
good.
and 10. They're having no success running on first down.
Stuff
A little bit
like
that time.
I mean, less than 2 yards isn't very good.
They went with the running play.
You never know when you're going to find some room and break loose into the secondary.
Well, I mean, he got 4 yards there.
The Colts come out in a nickel package. Throws it. Behind him, and he has it. They'll move the sticks with that completion.
I tell you, he put that one right on the money. They're just out there playing a little pitch and catch.
First and 10. Rushing on first down has not worked out for them today. Less than a 2-yard per carry average.
That's why they're losing. You got to be able to get yards on first down.
With the pass, number 30
Oh.
records the tackle at the 11. They get
Well, they're in field goal range, so they can at least take the lead. Even if they don't score the touchdown.
And it's working.
They need 11 yards to get it into the end zone. Done. The lone setback. Passing on first down. Goes to the end zone.
Oh, they got one.
He's in there for the touchdown.
Yeah, that's a little high for me. I mean, not terrible. Good team doing for turnover, but they are a historic team. They wouldn't turn. I would think that. Going for 2. Very agree with that call.
You know, it's hard enough to put
I mean, I get it makes it two field goals, but
Number 40. He's back for the kickoff as we take a quick
I think
break.
it's too early to do that. I think they want to move on. Because now, if they score a touchdown, an extra point, they got 21. Your field goal just ties it instead of wins it. I take the one there.
Well, the last time they had the ball, they turned it over on an interception. Let's see what happens here.
Jones is playing pretty well, it looked like, until that pick. Although it does say 4 turnovers, so if those are all picks, then I couldn't tell. I thought he was.
Closing in, gets rid of it, almost intercepted.
Intercepted it again.
Working in the middle and almost had the interception.
I think he was invisible out there. Wasn't even seen. That's a break for the offense.
I'm pretty sure I tweaked the run a little bit, so I gotta tweak the defensive side.
Jones out of the gun.
I'm pretty sure the knockdowns and the
Mitchell. John,
the
nothing there on
knockdowns
that play. Looks
higher,
like
so
he might have gotten
picks.
back to the line of scrimmage.
They better mix up the play call a little
Sure.
more, trying to free up some space in the middle. That back just didn't have any help from his line on that play.
Awareness and
Done
tackling.
very well on third down
Yes.
to this point.
All
Drops
of
back
it.
with the pass. Incomplete pass. The incomplete pass brings up fourth down. So they'll line up the punt after going 3 and out. Here's the kick. Fair catch. It's 1st and 10. Going to the left. Number 30 stops him at the 31. Trying to move the ball on the ground.
A running attack that is consistent and effective will help the offense dictate the pace of the game.
2nd and 10. Done. The deep back. Gets rid of it. Pass ball's incomplete. King found the single coverage he wanted. He just couldn't get it in there. So as they get set to try to convert, here's what both teams have done on third down.
Third down conversions is a keeper stat. When you convert on third down, you keep 3 things. You keep your drive going, you
Oh,
keep their defense on the field, and you keep your defense resting on the sideline.
they marked him short, but the penalty was
I'll tell you, these
first
face
down.
masks are getting so big that you can start off going for a jersey and end up with a handful of face masks.
They can't get it done on the ground on first down, John, but they're still leading in this one.
Some teams manage to get by pretty well without a solid running game. And that's mostly because their passing game is very effective, especially their short passing game.
The defender was positioned perfectly to get to that ball.
When you're playing safety, it's your job to watch the field and see where the ball is going. See where you have to be. He made the play that time, and it was a beauty.
Moore moves in motion. Drops back with the throw, and he lets it slip out of his grasp.
Take it.
Kristen held him up.
The rule on the hold is you can't let your hands go to the outside of the body. If your hands do move outside, then you have to move them back in as soon as you can, or you'll get called for holding.
Gets rid of it. From behind, but caught. He found a soft spot on the defense and was right there to make the catch.
The thing about a pass like that is it cuts down on the time the defender has to react to where the ball's heading.
They have to get the ball inside the 45 to convert for the first down. The backs are lined up in an I. King sends a man in motion. Dropping back. Gets the pass off. Incomplete pass.
I haven't seen much of Allstott either.
He got a good sense of knowing where the ball will come down and when to make his move.
So as we get set for the punt, let's take a look at our returners
In the
stats.
fullback spot, but I don't think they're giving him the ball.
Here's the punt.
Or throwing it to him.
He's waving for the fair catch. So they have 1st and 10 here.
I got completely silent there for a minute. That was kind of
Only
spooky.
one man in the backfield. Nice play fake. And he's forced out of bounds at the 31. Scott brought it in just before he fell out of bounds. Good catch for a first down.
You talk about coordination. That is not an easy thing to do.
The defense lines up in the nickel. Chester comes in motion. They give it to the halfback. Big hit on the ball carrier.
And when you talk about getting unloaded on, that's what happened here. He just got unloaded on.
Seven yards to go. Mitchell. Brooks with the stop at the 34-yard line. That run didn't get them much.
Yeah, there was a defender in every gap ready to make the tackle on that play.
3rd and 7 coming up here. Jones from the shotgun. Fires it out to the right. Webster pulls him down at the 39-yard line.
I'm assuming the punt.
For the 4th time, he's brought in to kick the ball away. Here's the kick. Fair catch called for. It's 1st and 10. The visiting team have not been very successful throwing on first down, but they still have the lead.
And somehow they managed to overcome that problem.
But there to save the sack.
Yeah, he got out of there, but it was way off because of that hit he took.
Like my back needs to.
Done. The deep back.
But it has not done so yet.
They give it to the halfback. Stop behind the line.
Gonna go again.
So after that run, we can see how the two main threats on the ground have fared so far. An exciting game so far as we head to the
Yeah, I think the running game's a little bit too tight.
Baltimore 14. The visiting team have the ball and the lead as we begin.
Turn this down a little bit, that might open up the pass up there as well, which
Way to go.
we done also.
Drops back with the throw, and the catch is made. Great catch on 3rd down by Green.
Yeah, and you talk about a guy who will make every catch there is. This is your guy. His hands are so big, they just kind of swallow the football.
So they have 1st and 10 here. Moore goes in motion. Hands it off. They'll go with a play fake. This pass is incomplete. King did a good job reading the coverage, but couldn't get it there.
Did he? Looked like it was double covered there.
And this is the 5th play of this drive. Defense
Assessment
lines up
there.
in the nickel with the pass, and it's complete. Johnson catches a floater for the first down.
And it's a good thing he caught it. You don't want to drop those passes that are sure first downs.
It's 1st and 10. They'll go from the I formation. Done. Big hit there. He was run over by a truck.
Yeah, two-ton truck pulling a trailer.
Good gain for the offense here in the second half.
This is one of those guys who seems to play better as the game goes on. The more he gets the ball, the better he does. So I'd expect to see him get quite a few touches here as the game winds down.
The Colts come out in a dime package with the throw, and the catch is made. So they're able to pick up another first down.
And this offense is clicking. They're making the right calls at the right time.
So they have 1st and 10 here. Nickelback in this time. Done. Dropped in the backfield for a short loss.
A holding. Back him up.
This one will be a hold.
That's what happens when your feet and your body get going in the wrong position.
Ball on the 38-yard line. The Colts come out in a nickel package. Throwing, and it's complete. Thompson with the stop at the 26. King is nearing the 300-yard mark in passing. And this is the 9th play of this drive. 8 to go. Only one man back. Pressure coming. Almost got it. He makes a great play by breaking the pass.
The quarterback felt a little pressure on that one, and it looked like he fired the ball out there before he wanted to.
10th play of this drive. The Colts come out in a dime package. Gets rid of it. Thrown behind, but caught. Nice ball going to the air, and that'll move the chains.
And having a pretty big day.
They need 11 yards to get it into the end zone.
Let's need to stop here.
Done. The lone setback. Murphy, the motion.
Dominate in the first half. They haven't done anything in the second half.
White breaks the play up in the backfield. He laid a good hit on him there for his 5th tackle of the game. He was met right at the line, might have even lost a little.
That was a case of the defense getting under the pads of the offensive line. Usually the team that gets the best leverage is going to control the line of scrimmage. When you run it into the middle, you have to have some push or movement up front. If you can't get that movement, it makes things very difficult for your running back.
13th play of this drive. The Colts come out of the quarter defense. Incomplete pass. King was under intense pressure.
Yeah, and that's something the defensive coordinator mentioned in practice this week. Making the quarterback throw the ball before he's ready to throw it.
Dramatic comes into the game to try the field goal. The kick is up. He had plenty of room to spare. As we take a look at his success returning kicks, we get ready for the kickoff. The visiting team are lined up for the kickoff. Nice kick and returnable. From the 6-yard line. Baltimore losing by 7, heads back out.
Well, tie it up here.
It's 1st and 10. The quarterback gets set with only one back behind him. Dropping back to pass on 1st down. Throws it. Picked off.
Nope.
Good play. So the offense turns it over on the interception.
That was a cover 2 scheme, and its basic premise is to keep the play in front of you. You can take calculated risk because you know someone has your back.
They've got receivers bunched together on both sides of the ball. And it's complete. King delivered the pass right on time, John.
And I love the way this guy throws the football. He has great touch. It seems to always be putting it right there in the numbers.
Three yards will get them 6 points. Hand it off to the back. Up. Stops the play in the backfield. He records his 3rd tackle of the game. The interior lineman, John, got off the ball very well on that play.
Yeah, and the key to stopping that kind of run is exactly that. Whoever fires off the line faster and gets better leverage is going to win those battles at the line.
He'll sneak it. Number 74 makes the tackle at the 1.
Take the field goal, 4th down here.
Dramatically leads the field goal team into the game for the attempt. The kick sails through the uprights. The visiting team are taking control in this one. The visiting team are set to kick it deep. Good distance. From the 9 to the 20. Stiff arms the defender to the ground. There's an injury, and Joe will have the answers for us soon.
Lillard's injured. I don't think that's good. I'm pretty sure he's starter in secondary. So he'll be able to return if they need him.
1st and 10. The visiting team come out in a nickel package. Receives the handoff. Great read by the defensive line there, John. They knew exactly what was coming.
And knowing what they like to do out there comes from lots of film study and preparation. When you know what a team likes to call in certain situations, 3rd and long, 2nd and short, it really gives you an edge on defense.
Mitchell, the lone setback. Pressure, gets rid of it. Incomplete. No one there that time. Now it's 3rd down after the incompletion. Drops back with the pass. This one falls incomplete. Looked like it was going to be a reception, but he
That's not good.
The back was a good receiver out of the backfield. Could really give you that extra dimension on offense. You have to find a way to try and catch it when your hands are on it.
3 plays.
Interesting. Like they dominated the first half and absolutely nothing.
Here's the punt. And he chooses not to return this one. It's 1st and 10. Handoff to the tailback. Number 56 stops him at the 28. Short gain.
That's there.
The middle, maybe half a yard.
I don't think I'd call that run a burst. That was more of a limp up the middle.
9 yards to go.
All they need to do is
Defense lines up in the neck. Gets the pass off, and the catch is made. Good-looking play there as they pick up the 1st down and keep the drive alive. So, the visiting team come out with 4 wide receivers lined up tight.
when we're off. I think that's the cup of coffee I'm gonna have today. Over to cold stuff.
Number 58 brings him down at the 44. He was fortunate to get anything on that play.
And that's a tribute to their strength and conditioning coach. These guys spend almost as much time in the weight room as they do on the field. And you see it pay off when a guy can turn a play that looks like a sure loss into a play for a couple of yards.
Number 56 takes him down at the 49-yard line. Gain of a handful. Ball on their own 49. 5th play of this drive. 2-minute warning coming up.
Well, here, like I said, I think I'm just gonna I'll come through the stats a little bit and tweak some of the settings that play it with the
They line
settings.
up in the I formation. King with a man in motion. Again with the run.
Hmm?
Number 44 with the stop.
All of a sudden they can run the ball.
42. And that gain will get them a fresh set of
Still don't.
downs.
He just exploded towards the marker that time. That was a big-time run.
This one is just about in the books.
They're good defense too, and I don't mind a couple.
First and 10.
Carried away with it. So we'll do some tweaking and play it and see what we get. Oh, there you got free.
The 10.
Wow.
He's in there for the score.
They're leading in the fourth. You don't move somebody up. I don't know how you don't run blitz every down there when we're going to run it. That's insane to me. Like, Baltimore totally controlled this game.
And it's on its way. The extra point attempt is good. The visiting team have wrapped this one up, John.
But no points.
Good job of not letting up. You should do things that got you the lead in the first place, and they did it there.
The visiting team are ready to kick this one off. Good kick, should be returnable. From the 5-yard line to the 20. They forced a 3-and-out on the last series.
Very tight game for
So they have
second.
first and 10 here. Jones will work out of the shotgun. Dropping back to pass on first down. Quarles dishes out punishment at the 29. And it looks like they're going to go with a no-huddle. Gets rid of it, and he can't hang on. That pass was right there, but he was unable to hang on.
And the receiver just dropped it. I was watching him in practice the other day, and he didn't miss a ball. Looks like he just took his eye off that one. When you're down by this much, the offense doesn't want to be facing too many third and fourth down, because that means they're taking too much time. They should be getting first for every 1 or 2 downs if they want to have a chance at this thing.
And they have to go to the air because they need big plays fast.
That's right. You got to have composure in these situations. Find your receivers who can pick up yardage after the catch. But most importantly, you have to keep the chains moving.
This is not a
Get
difficult
the first down.
They're going to go
Oh,
for
that
it.
was boy.
This pass is incomplete. And when you're down by this much, you're forced to go for it, but they came up short.
They need to try to get something going, even if it means gambling on 4th down.
Dunn, the lone back. Hey, moves in motion. Dunn. Stop behind the line. Wants to pick up. Dunn couldn't escape the pursuit and was cut down quickly.
These guys up front are very tough to block because they can use their size and strength to get excellent leverage on running plays. Sometimes they struggle a little with their consistency, but they always seem to be a big factor when the game's on the line.
You could hear the collision up here.
He's feeling it right now. Either that or he's numb all over, and that's worse.
Just over a minute still to go. Only one man in the backfield. Hands it off. Number 58 records the tackle at the 29. They're going to keep the clock moving.
Well, they're playing conservative. They're going to keep pounding away, wearing down this defense, and working the clock.
Webster was clearly the standout tonight and wins our horse trailer player of the game. He's made some big kicks in his career, but this one I think might be a little out of his range. The attempt is good. Big day for him.
Well.
5 field goals. And that touchdown might have wrapped it up.
Yeah, I don't see
Touchdown.
how they come back now.
Yeah, scoring a touchdown now.
The visiting team are lined up for the kickoff. And he got all of that one. A great kick. From the 5. To the 20. Slips the tackle. The Colts face an uphill battle as they begin this drive at the 28-yard line. They'll pass on every play from here on out.
When you're down by more than 1 score and there's less than a minute left, that's all you can really do.
Quarterback back in the shotgun. Dropping back to pass on first down. Nice adjustment. Dives and makes the tackle. Calling an audible now. He'll stop the clock with the spike.
Yeah, pretty sure this one's over.
Downfield to move the chains while keeping the clock movement to a minimum.
Many frames this time, so that's good.
Jones back in the shotgun. Throws it over the middle. Ooh, that one will leave a mark.
He got hit so hard he darn near had to take a taxi back to the stadium.
They're going to keep it moving here. They're heading straight to the line. Spike stops the clock.
They're going to need to pass here, and they're not worried about first downs anymore. They need big gains and a quick score.
They have to reach the 33 to convert. Jones starts out of the shotgun. Drops back with the throw. In and out of his hands. Time is working against them.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're going to keep going to the air, but it might be a little too late.
Looks like he's calling an audible. They come out of the nickel. Scott, the motion man. Gets the pass off. The pass ball's incomplete. No choice here, John. They just
I catch it on a tip there for a second. Hello, the defender showed up.
He sees something in the defense. Johnson moves in motion. Slings this one. And this pass is complete. Baltimore calls a timeout. They have none left. Pass play here on first down. Tossing it over the middle. He was able to hit his target, picking up the first in the process.
That's a case of your receiver knowing where the marker is and the quarterback.
Oh, he didn't spike it. Wow.
And it's complete. He's pushed out at the 11-yard line. The gun.
All right, so there you have it. Like I said, we're going to tweak it a little bit and replay that. Back over close. Again, just want to get the rosters done so we can start this up. Again, college on Saturday with NCAA 11. Named rosters, work rosters. I might do another day because I want to do more than one game. I do them on earlier. One a little early. So that's going to wrap us up. I appreciate you guys checking it out. We will see you guys.